Pause. All right. So we're live. We are live. We are live.
We're live.
Yes,
Yeah.
we're going live.
What happened to the music?
We're gonna do the music in 1 second. Ready? 1, 2, let's get it. Oh well, not yet. Like
Hola guys, welcome to today's episode of Hush Your Mouth. My name is Kori Deez.
and I'm Mason.
Miss Lizzie Baybee here, and welcome to Hush Your Mouth.
Hey.
Hey.
So we are back, and today we are talking about, is it okay for a woman to propose, or should women propose?
To men.
To men.
We gotta
Okay.
be specific.
Oh,
Because women gonna propose to women.
I guess if you want to be technical, whatever.
So
Mhm.
speaking on a relationship between a man and a woman, should a woman propose? Should she get down on one knee and be like, "Baby, can you marry me?"
Now,
Do you see it like that? Really? Is it like baby?
yes, it's like you are begging. You are begging.
So when guys do it, do y'all see it like that? We begging?
We what?
Beyonce did not propose to Jay-Z. You better believe that she did not.
So when Hove was on one knee, Hove was begging to be married?
No, it's different because that's what a man is supposed to do.
According to who?
Ooh, good
Oh,
question.
that's tradition. That's like what a man.
Created it.
Okay, so if you go back to anything, when it comes to a man, he chooses a wife. A man who findeth a woman findeth a good thing. No, I don't necessarily want to be sitting here quoting the Bible verses for y'all, but no, like a woman does choose a man, but not in that way. You have to have some proof about yourself, sweetheart. Don't be out here proposing to no man.
I know somebody who
If
has.
he wanted you, he gonna tell you that he wants you. You gonna know he wants you.
Wait, hold
So a
on.
proposal is equal to wanting somebody? Like we together, we in this full on relationship.
want me
We
forever.
possibly could live together, but because I ain't proposed to you, that means I don't want you.
That means you don't want to grow in this relationship.
Excuse
You
me.
are comfortable with
I'm
you
allergic
being
to
your
bullshit.
girlfriend for 15 years. No. Grow.
15 years, 80 bodies.
Grow. Listen, so I found this quote on Facebook.
Mason, are we live on the Facebook?
We are not. You want to go live on Facebook?
Oh, I was looking for it. I'm over here refreshing my screen. Like, where is
No,
it?
we could literally do that right now. This
Yeah, no, this is one of
Let's bring
those
this to
type
the
of
let's
topics.
bring this to the
This is-
Facebookians. Facebookians, we
I
thought
want
about
y'all to
We
be
want
able
y'all
to
to be able
know.
to interact with this because I know some
Because-
people on my Facebook that don't propose.
Ooh.
And she is married. She done had a baby. She is in love. He was so excited that he posted it on Facebook that his girlfriend proposed to him.
How'd that work out for her?
They are still together and they are happily married.
Oh, that's beautiful. I want to hear about this.
I don't really talk to her that much, so I can't really give you the details, but they did definitely put up the proposal.
How'd she do it?
But she got down on one knee with a ring and asked him to marry her.
Was it a diamond ring? Was
we
it
are live on
was
it-
Facebook.
was it princess cut?
It was
That's
a
what-
male
did you
wedding
hear that?
band.
There's no type of cut for a diamond for propose.
You know what's funny? Y'all don't know shit about what a princess cut is versus what a cube cut is versus like y'all have.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
She
Whoa,
actually
whoa,
like-
whoa.
Oh, talk
Whoa.
that talk.
Whoa. Yes, I do.
Talk that talk. So what's the difference? Give me the cut rundown.
Oh, wait, we're not going to do this right.
For
We're not
anybody
gonna do
joining
this
us
right
on
now.
Facebook right now,
I know what I like. What type of diamonds do I like? What type of diamond? This is not Hoe 101, Mason. Get your shit together.
I just felt like that was proper at this moment. I know what I like.
I know what I like. I like princess cut. I like pear drops. Pear drops is nice. They're really nice. I like ovals because that's a little bit more classy depending on the situation and the day of the week. You know what I mean, guys? Like, get me on this screen by myself.
Nah, you had a lot to say. Let it go.
The conversation was what kind of engagement ring do you get the man? And then are you in like the dynamics that this is the problem. I feel like women started proposing when the 2000 man made that like acceptable. And I say the 2000 man because the men that were from the old school would never want their woman to be proposing to them. That's just not realistic. That makes you a little bit less of a man. Are you the man or are you the woman?
Yo, why is it that in certain scenarios
Mm-hmm.
we are traditional? In other scenarios where it benefits a particular sex, we are no longer traditional. So for me, it's like, hey, why is it that we are so evolved as a community that we can say we want equal this, that, and the third, but when it comes to certain things, it's like, we don't want equal everything. Leave that the way it is.
I don't know who fought for this equality that we look for in this world. Like, I never said that I wanted to have a job and have to work. I never said that I wanted to be that type of woman. I mean, I'm that type of woman because, like, that's just who I am, because that's the society that we live in and so on and so forth. So I'm going to be the best one of those that I can be. But that's not what I ever said that I would want to be like the old days where the woman did not work, the woman take care of the home, the children, she's barefoot, she's pregnant, the man brings home the bacon, I make the bacon. I want to be that.
You want to be a homemaker?
Me that.
Oh, no. It's a no for me. Not nobody's homemaker. I'm not about to be nobody's housewife.
Mm-mm.
I'm a working housewife.
I can still be a working housewife.
I'll do all that, but I want a job. Can't stay home all day.
Work on the shit that I want to work on, not the shit that I have to work on because I have to work. I don't want to do that. So I think that the roles were reversed when, at some point in time, some women fought for some fucking equal rights. And now men think that we should be proposing. Like, I think that that's okay. Like, as a man, Mason, because you're a man on our show, you're the male perspective, you inside panel. And I just feel like, how would you feel if a woman got down on one knee in front of your whole entire family and proposed to you? How would you feel?
See,
Would that make you
say yes?
And would you say yes? What would that look like?
I would definitely say yes in a moment, no matter what the situation is. Because if you're brave enough to make that type of effort and do that, yeah, I'm gonna say yes. But at the same point in time, I don't know if it'll get to that wedding, so I ain't gonna.
That's fucked up. That means that you don't even have really intentions on.
That means that I'm going to save you from
the
yourself.
I think that that's the least
I'm gonna save you from yourself. That's the
So you
least
think
I
that
can
it's
do.
outlandish?
So I don't know if that marriage would be the next step for that particular relationship, and that's something that we'd have to have further discussion on that particular relationship.
I think that a woman that goes out and proposes to a man knows that man was never going to marry her in the first place.
But
I think so.
No, he wasn't going to marry you. So you decided to ask him because he wasn't going to ask you, because that may not be something that he necessarily believes in or cherishes or value, but you do. So you went out and you asked. Side panel. Would you want a woman to propose to you? No. Why not?
That's taken from my pride and my dignity.
That's taking from side panel's pride and dignity.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like
I don't disagree.
Yeah. So like, what? Because then it becomes like, well, what makes you a man and what makes you like the roles are fucked up in today's society, and I just think that.
But listen, you can't have it all, and I think that that's the problem, that women on a whole want to have it all right now. So you can't have all the rights, all the benefits, all the privileges, all that comes with being
And
a
why
woman.
can't you?
Why can't you? So
Who
then,
said that you cannot?
because it's one pie, and if we all have it all, like there's no pie. Like there's one, like in a relationship, it's two of us, right? So if you have it all and I have it all,
No, we
how do
have
you how do you divide that? Huh?
no, we have it all together.
You can't
That's
have it all together.
you
How do we
can.
both? Let me tell you something. If it's one piece of chicken, how you and side panel gonna eat that piece of chicken? Y'all gonna
Is it a
split it,
wing?
right?
Is it a
Huh?
wing?
It's
Is it a
whatever you
wing?
want. It's whatever.
Oh,
It's wings.
we
It's
have
whatever
split
you.
it though.
You gonna split it, right? That means you gonna have half, and side panel is gonna have half. If you have the whole thing, side panel's not gonna eat. If side panel has the whole thing, you're not gonna eat. So you can't have it all. Because if you have
I
it all, if you have it all, you're selfish. Because then you're taking away from your partner. What do you think, Lizzie Baby?
I think it's like a 50-50 type of thing.
Always.
You can't have all, she can't have all. You gotta have it together.
It's a
If
partnership.
you have it all, you don't have enough for her to have none. If she's having it all, you don't have enough for her. She don't have enough for you to have it. So I see what you mean. But wait, I wanted to tell y'all that I Googled this. I literally put the question in, why should women not propose to men? Do y'all want to hear the answer that Google gave me?
You said, why should women not propose to men?
Yes.
That sounds negative.
It said it is not that you shouldn't ask him to marry you. It's that you shouldn't have to ask him to marry you. Because if he wanted to marry you,
he would
propose to you.
If he wanted to be with you, he would be with you.
And that's from Google. So I'm gonna say or assume that a woman is running Google because she know what she's talking about.
Women run the world. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yes, but seriously though, if he wanted to
seriously,
marry you, you're gonna ask him to marry you. He's gonna marry you because that's what he want to do. You gotta tell that man to marry you. You gotta be like, "Can you marry me?"
But don't y'all tell men to marry y'all anyway? Like I think y'all tell y'all partner to marry you.
I might say, "Oh, I want to be a wife."
You're gonna know.
Let me tell you something. Y'all will drop hints about what y'all want all day long.
How do I share this to my story?
All day long.
Go back to the teammates and then share it again.
I thought I said I was. I'm sorry. I'm trying to share this.
In the meantime, women, you can't have it all. This is I know this is like a whole thing, but maybe this is a whole separate discussion. But you can't have it all. Like it's a partnership. It's a half and half, and I think that you guys influence your wants, your desires in your own way. I think that you guys are all about that subtle hint / poke / push, while guys are a little bit more direct. I think that that's where the difference lies. I think that you guys will be, we've been together 5 years. Where do you see this going is always the gateway to the next question, which means it's the gateway to the next step. So if we're not living together and you want to live together, where do you see this going? Like we've been together for a year now. I spent all my time here. My toothbrush is here. Like I should just move in.
Are we growing?
Are we growing?
We're not growing. What are we doing?
And that just keeps going. So now you moved in and we together. Now we together and we've been together for a year. We've been together for a year now. Like, what's the next step? Like, we might as well, like, you might not say we might as well get married. Y'all are going to, like, give us clues and hints. So you're going to be like, hey, this is where y'all fill in the blank. What y'all going to say? Hey.
Look at this ring. Ain't this nice?
Even better. Showing the rings.
Yeah.
Talking about princess cuts and all kinds of stuff.
No, that's not how I do it. Because I've actually,
How you do it? How do you force the engagement?
I don't have to force the engagement, actually.
Talk.
Yeah, I have had, several offers on the table at one point in time or another. Okay. So, but the most important and most successful one, I think that the understanding and the decision was definitely like a mutual thing. Like we just knew that we couldn't be without each other, and that's just what happened. I don't have to propose a story or anything like that. So that just sounds unbeknownst. Are you marrying me because you feel like I want you to marry me or something? Like we get a lot of details out of talking on these type of shows.
Side panel.
80 bodies.
That was a direct question.
That was a direct question.
Are you marrying her because she wants you to, or because you want to?
And how did you know, or something? Is that the question?
Yeah,
I like how you putting side panel on the hot seat
you
tonight.
wanted to do.
It's a lot of hot seat for the side panel.
Oh, it's okay. She can handle it. She likes her butt hot.
I do not like my ass hot. Don't say that.
I almost choked. My man said,
Reiterate.
hot. It's the hot butt for me.
Drop some boundaries, though.
Side panel does not like her butt hot. She don't play that ass shit. Straight from my dad.
No, but seriously, do you guys think that do you feel like I'm the type of person that drop hints or something? Did I drop hints that I want to? How did you know that I was even the marrying type? Because there's certain people who are not even the marrying type. And that's something to be understood. Bigger question too. Yeah, like is everyone the marrying type? So the man you're proposing to might not have proposed to you because he is not even the marrying type. He doesn't want to be married. That's not something he seeks out.
So because he didn't propose to you, getting down on one knee.
He's going to say yeah to save you the embarrassment, Mason.
Yep.
And then you don't make it to the wedding day.
Nope.
Wow, you went viral.
Nah, you know what? It is what it is, though. I mean, if you look at examples, like you look at Chrissy and Jim Jones, like she proposed. They're not married yet.
They're still not married. How many years is it? Do we have a count?
I don't know. Years.
It's years. On top.
My point is like that works for them though. Like sometimes we be putting societal norms on people, and at the end of the day, are they happy? That's the question. Are you guys happy? Yes, we're happy. Like
that's the most important factor, though. That's the only factor that's actually important. Is your happiness, the relationship's happiness, then are you happy? Exactly. You don't have to get married in order to be happy.
But I think lately society, we always go to society. We need to find a drop for society.
We need a drop for society.
We're gonna work on that. We're gonna work on that for future. Society. But society forces, or I don't think that society is forcing the norms on us as it once did. So it's not a need to get married anymore. I don't think there's a need for you to be a wife anymore. Versus like 30, 40 years ago.
Oh, I don't believe that.
You don't believe there's a need for you to be a wife now?
Doing the being together and living together for all these years, and now they are what they call that.
It's a whole separate discussion.
I can't even think of what it's called right now. You know what I'm talking about. It's a phrase they use for people who live together.
Common law wives?
Common law
and
marriage.
They accept that?
And they're accepting that. That's why marriage is not so big no more, because people are like, oh, I'll be with you for 25 years. You don't got to give me a ring. I love you and you love me now.
But what's the benefit of being married?
I don't really know.
What's the benefit?
What is the benefit of being married?
What are not the benefits?
No, what are the benefits? Like why like here's the only benefit that I see.
We are one.
We are one.
We are one.
We are the children
and life.
We are the people.
On paper and debt, all that.
I don't want to be in one with somebody.
But I'm just saying that comes below with being married. Marrying somebody that's
like 55% of marriages end in divorce. So every other marriage is going to end in divorce.
But that's the problem, because everybody.
Listen, are you okay? Wait a minute. Are you not for fucking being married, Mason? Like, what's going on?
Actually, I am.
Okay, you're paying double.
It's not even that. It's just that I'm throwing out what I think. I'm asking you guys what you think. If you ask me the same question, I can answer you, and I can tell you.
Throw that question back at you, Mason.
So, what are the benefits of being married? All it is a tax situation. Because if I'm married and I'm committed to you, me being committed to you and my commitment level is solely a individual and a couple thing. It has nothing to do with the world. No one else needs to know. I think that, I look at a culture like the Jewish culture where they could be married religiously, but they're not married in the eyes of the government. And that facilitates a lot of positives for them, right? So at the same point in time, like at the end of the day, it's between me and you. It's our level of commitment. If you feel like a ring makes you happy and committed, then that's another thing. But if I'm giving you my word and the respect is there, then it makes sense to be married. But at the end of the day, the only physical benefit that you get from being married is literally the tax write-off.
I want that.
Yeah.
I want the ring. I want the tax write-off. I want you to fear that once this is on paper and you cross me,
You want fear. You want fear.
I'm taking everything that you have because the government says you now owe it to me because they acknowledge our time and my effort that I put into this. Because in so many
so just to correct that, just so you know, in common law, and if you've been
no, I don't believe in common law either, please.
No, I'm talking about legally. So legally, after a certain period of time, like what the law had intended it was for like same sex, situations. Whereas like, two guys together and they're, in a relationship and they decide that, they're going to live together and all that stuff. It was to facilitate, if I have a good job and I have health insurance, that way I could share it with my common law spouse or my partner, whatever the case may be. So the same rules do apply as far as that marriage, and you could have half and all that stuff to common law as it does to.
Okay, Mason, we get it, but I want the wedding and I want the ring.
All right, so say that.
What's the problem?
I know I got mad technical and legal. Legally.
Well, let me tell you.
Legally.
No.
But nah.
Are you legally married?
No, I am not legally married.
I think, like, technically.
I'm not legally married. I do have. Always trying to put me on the spot. I do have documentation that allows me to do certain things that a wife would be able to do, but I am not legally married.
Not by time?
No, I don't want to say I'm married by time either. I'm not. I ain't said I do.
Oh, so you don't. So common law is not common for you. You don't. No, so you're not married.
I want to.
But technically, because due to the law, as in technicalities that Mason was pointing out,
I ain't married. I ain't nobody's wife.
Okay.
Man, you ain't nobody's what?
Okay.
I am nobody's wife. I did not say I do. I did not stand before a judge and sign no documentation. And if you leave, I cannot keep your shit. So yeah, I'm married. Because if I was your wife and you die tomorrow, everything you got it belong to me. But guess what? We ain't married, so it ain't mine.
Okay.
And that's another thing. Legally, you become next of kin and all that stuff.
Yeah, I need the legalities. I'm a person that needs. No, I like the legalities. It definitely is. I'm a person that I don't believe in colors. Remember how we had a conversation and we discussed colors, and that men have,
Black and white.
they only see green and red. Stop and go.
Okay.
There's no yellow with them, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm like kind of similar to that. Yeah, no, I mean black and white. I'm a black and white type of person. So I'm not like a man who just sees red and green. I'm a person that sees black and white. So what are the facts? The facts are X, Y, and Z. The facts are that I'm your wife and you played yourself and now I own you.
So let me ask you a question.
I'm your wife, I own you.
Okay.
I own you.
Speaking of that, there are situations where, because what you're saying, you're boiling down to the financial and the monetary benefit. So are you familiar with what happened between Mary J. Blige and her husband?
Does she pay him alimony?
Yes.
She does. Because she took care of him when they was married, right?
Yes. So I mean, are you
Yeah.
comfortable with it going both ways? Like, because here's what I noticed: like when you are on the top end of things, you're like, yeah, like I'm all for this. When you're at the bottom end of things, you're like, I don't know about that. So if you had to pay side panel,
If I was a fucking rich superstar, I don't care how much.
nah, we're not talking about rich. We're talking about in our own lives, but we're bringing that circumstances home. So if you had to pay side panel, how would you feel about that? You had to pay spousal support. You had to pay whatever the case may be, half of your shit. You know, hush your mouth when it blows up. It's worth millions of dollars. All of a sudden, you now have to pay side panel for me to hush your mouth.
No,
I just wanted to say, because, you know.
Waiting for the end of the question. Was that the end of the question?
Yeah, you have to pay side panel now. Now you guys are getting divorced, and side panel wants half because now you started to earn $5 million a year over the last 15 years. You know.
Wait, hold on. Do you go to jail for not paying alimony, like child support?
Hell yeah.
Oh, she's going to jail.
No. So honestly, guys, and this sounds machine. I know you guys might think that I'm like in the moment or whatever the case is, but I want to really say publicly, because this is definitely going on YouTube. This is live.
I was about to say, don't say nothing crazy, because what you say now, side panel will pull up and use it like you.
I know, right? Like that girl with no button ready. Oh no!
Hell yeah.
31 minutes.
Hell yeah.
I'm sorry.
So I'm warning you now. Be careful of what you say, because it could be used against you in a court of law.
No, I wish we had the heart
fucking lives.
play for the lives, but I would definitely. So I feel like I'm in a different point in my life. Like when you talk about side panel versus my exes, am I paying the alimony for any of my exes? Absolutely the fuck not. Send me to jail. I don't give a fuck. Like I'm just not. I won't do it. I would never ever I would be so blatantly like on this internet, like, you know. But with side panel, if Hush Your Mouth blew up or whatever the case is or whatever, I think that I would definitely be inclusive, and I wouldn't mind giving half to side panel, because side panel would still be giving half to me. Like, it's a mutual thing. It
ain't mutual when you're making millions.
It's mutual at the end of the day. If she's giving me half of her $30,000 a year, let's say that's what that she made. Yeah, you're giving me half. If you're making a living off of 15, that's great. I know that I would be able to get half from you, just like I would give you half.
But if you're not,
I know that she wouldn't even want anything from me.
But if you're not together.
I know she wouldn't even want anything from me.
But what if? Just what if?
Let me tell you something. Everybody's gonna want something.
If side panel, would you be taking me for alimony if we were not together? She's not taking me for alimony. No, I need that.
Everybody says all that good stuff until you both start living in the penthouse suite. You get used to living in the penthouse suite. 5 years pass and you're like, you know what? I can still maintain this penthouse suite, and it ain't gonna take nothing from Kori to just let me get this penthouse suite.
If it don't cost me nothing, if it's like pennies.
Oh no, it's gonna cost you, but it ain't gonna cost you nothing that's gonna hurt you.
It ain't gonna hurt me, so that's cool. I'm gonna pay for you and Kingston to be in that suite. Penthouse suite, you in there, you in the kid, because I'm out.
She's outside, y'all. Said, fuck that.
Hello, Star Asia. Welcome. Nice to have you on Hush Your Mouth. Welcome to today's episode. Is it okay for a woman to propose to a man? Should a woman propose to a man? Yeah, no. Chrissy was bugging out because honestly speaking, sis is still not married. Like, sis is really still, like, I just feel like
she is happy.
Who said that? She's not happy because she really wanted to be married. She's not happy.
She's happy.
What makes you feel? How do
She's
you know?
with him.
Do you know her personally? No,
She's
she loves him. She
him.
loves the lifestyle she lives.
She's
Chrissy,
still with him. She can live that lifestyle on her own. She'd rather live it with him. That's why she's still with him.
How can she live this life lifestyle on her own.
She
How?
will figure it out.
She has other ways of making income. She's
The
in real
ways that
estate.
she chose to do that
she's doing
before,
other
if
things.
anybody knows Chrissy Lampkin, they would say, well, how'd that work out for you? The ways that you learned before. She doesn't have any businesses of her own.
She does have businesses. That's not true.
What's her
I'm a
business
cap
that
for
she
her.
got?
She has a real estate business. They
Oh.
have a development business, so she's doing
Okay.
her own thing. Is she making as much as him? That I don't know. I can't really.
Not to
give you
support
that.
the lifestyle that she lives currently. I don't even know what is he making.
At point in times, they don't even live in the same place. Like some points of the year, like Jim is
I feel like
up here, and some points of the year. But we're getting carried away into a particular situation. Just to
I feel like whatever works for you.
Okay, so you said the pregnant woman down on one knee was another thing that went viral about a woman proposing to a man. Absolutely fucking. My answer is going to be absolutely fucking
your
not.
child and I'm on one knee. Yeah, okay.
Why do I gotta be? First of all, if she was pregnant and she was visibly pregnant,
Why
and she proposed to him, that's absurd because that man did not value you, sweetheart. You were carrying his child and you proposed to him. He should have proposed to you once you were carrying his child. You felt as though that you were not gonna get proposed to. You did. You had to. There's no way. You thought that there was no chance ever going to happen. That's what I think.
I think we gotta look at it in a different lens. Like
I think that you always try to play it safe.
What happened?
I think that you always try to play it safe, Mason.
Playing it safe, looking at it in a different lens. I am respecting that woman's choice to try to make a situation the way she would like the situation to be. She would like it to be where, hey, she brings her child into the world, and she took things into her own hands. I think that that's to be commended. You don't think that that's to be commended, where she wants a situation to be a certain way, and instead of waiting, she took it upon herself to actually make that happen? No,
because couples have conversations, and in your conversations, when you have your most intimate moments, you understand who a person is. Like, I knew that marriage was not something that was important to my daughter's father, right? Because those are the conversations that we had. His views on marriage and that type of bondage were outlandish. So, but that wasn't my view. So I already knew that if I have a goal of being, and sometimes, let's talk about that too. Women have goals. Sometimes we rope men into marrying us at the wrong time. We say, hey, we have this goal. My parents expect this out of me, and so on and so forth. And I need to have this done by this date. And that man is not even ready for that. But because that person loves you, then they will accommodate you in that way. And then that's how you have situations where they lead to divorce and so on and so forth. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect sense. But at the same point in time, it's like, it doesn't negate what I'm saying. Like, yeah, you have goals, and yeah, you want to do things, and yeah, you want to get to a certain point. You should have these conversations. You should have a lot of conversations. I don't think this is a whole different show. I don't think we have the right conversations and ask the right questions to our potential spouses. There's a great book about that, and I'm not going to reference it right now because
I used to say that a lot about Mason. I said when people ask me like relationship advice, I always say it is important to have those type of conversations in the beginning of your relationship. When you decide to start a relationship with somebody, you need to know what type of relationship they really want. Like, are they looking for a wife? Are they looking for a girlfriend? Are they looking for a partner for life? Whatever the case may be. When you have those conversations from the gate, you don't waste your time because you know exactly what this person is looking for. You know where they can possibly go. I mean, sometimes, don't get me wrong, situations do change, circumstances change, and you can still end up growing with a person. But in all actuality, usually when somebody tells you from the gate, I don't want to be married. I don't see myself as a wife. I don't see myself as a husband. 9 times out of 10, no matter if you get on your knee, baby girl, he's going to say no. He told you. That's not.
If he says yes, it probably won't work out.
Yeah, because he don't see that for himself. Some people don't see themselves as husbands. Some people don't see themselves as wives. There's nothing wrong with that. But on the other spectrum, if that is who you are, you need to keep it 100 with your mate. Like, this is not who I want to be. I don't want to be a wife. I don't want to be a husband, because you save people the heartache. You have people out here who really actually want to be married, who want to go down that road and get on those papers and live their lives on paper with somebody else. But you don't want that. But you ain't tell me that. So now we 8-9 years down the road, and I'm ready to get married, and that ain't for you. So now I just wasted 8-9 years because that's what I want. So let's normalize keeping it real from the gate.
Keeping it real from the gate. We need to applaud that. Drop the fucking mic, Mace. What's up?
Let me get that applause going.
We need to applaud. Okay.
Well said. Well said. Well said.
We have comments, Mace. So, Mason. So we want to jump into those and be able to address those. And shout outs to the people who are definitely viewing live. Hello, Christy. How are you? I love you. Thank you for tuning in. Starasia Butler. Me personally, I think she is happy. Everyone has their own way of being comfortable, and I wouldn't propose to anyone, but I don't find an issue with it. So if a female drops to a knee for a man and he's with it, then what? I mean,
that works for them.
Then that works for them. I just don't know how a female. I don't know how you would still value that man. Personally.
Ooh.
I wouldn't know how I would value that man if I was to be able to drop to one knee for that man and make him my what?
Your husband.
My husband? So I'm proposing to my husband?
Yes.
To me, that just doesn't sound like something that I would want to do. I love you too. Yeah. I don't think that that's something that I would want to do. Like,
I'm not getting no money.
I wouldn't think you was a man. You would be less than a man if I had.
So at that point, see, you wouldn't be the one proposing though. If you are going to devalue him as a man, at that point you wouldn't be the one proposing, because once you lost the respect, you lost everything. So you're saying I wouldn't respect him if I
wouldn't do, because I just feel like you could have a time frame on your life. And what you want to do, or you could know when a situation is at the point where you should be engaged or moving on to, growing. And that's the term we're using, growing. And in your growth, that person should be growing with you as well. So where you are, that person should be meeting you.
But that's why I say you need to communicate from the gate.
Yeah, no.
The road that you might want to take is not the road I want to take. You might want to get on a highway that I'm not interested in getting on. And I might be getting on a highway that you're not interested in getting on. But if I don't tell you which way I'm going, now we're on a highway and somehow, somewhere down this road, we're going to split and go separate ways. We can do that.
So at some point in time, do you force the situation? Like, do you?
I feel like a woman proposes to a man.
Is that her example of setting an ultimatum? It's like, you're gonna get married to me or you're not. So is that?
Yeah. Because 9 times out of 10, I'm not gonna take away from the women who actually be like, I just want to marry this man right now. But a lot of women who do propose to men, it's an ultimatum, because if they say no and they really don't get married, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
If a man asks a woman, that's another thing. Because a lot of times men ask women to marry them, and if you're not ready and you say no, he may actually wait. He might be like, maybe now is not the right time. But if a woman get on one knee and she say, will you marry me? And he say, no, we out. You don't want
that ego. That's that ego. You shouldn't perpetuate that. That's not.
If we talk about the situation that we mentioned earlier, that person is still there. They're not married still. And he did not marry that woman. No, I don't give a fuck. No.
But he loves that woman and everything else is on point.
He loves her enough to marry her on paper.
Maybe marrying her is not important to him. And that's
but it's important to me. So what's important?
It don't matter. So I'm supposed to change who I am to make you happy.
If it's important to me,
but if that's not who you are as a person, I'm supposed to change who I am to appease you because I love you. That's not real.
That's not love. That's not love.
It's gonna be a temporary fix. I'm gonna marry you, and I'm not gonna be fucking happy because I didn't want to marry your ass from the beginning.
Why? What's the difference?
Because that's not
if
what
you're
I
happy with me without the name and without the marriage, then what difference does it make
for
that
some
we're
people,
married?
That's what it is, though. For some people, regardless of how we word this, I don't want to be your wife. I don't want to be your husband. No matter
Let me ask
how
you a question. Let me ask you a question.
not
I'll
married.
go with Corey. Corey, do you feel like you're a rebel? Do you feel like you conform to society's norms?
I
I
absolutely
don't
do
think.
not conform to society's norms, and I absolutely can be viewed. See, you asked me if I think that I'm a rebel. No, I can be viewed as a rebel.
So do
Right.
you conform? So I asked two questions. So the first one was, do you think that you're a rebel? You said no, you don't think that you're a rebel. The second one was, do you feel like you conform to society's norms? You said
No.
no. So you feel like you do not conform to society's norms. So one of the biggest forms of society or society norms is marriage. So for you to say that you're for marriage, but you're not for everything else, that's like you're just buying into what you're buying into, and you're not buying into the whole concept of society.
No,
So,
let me tell you a little bit about Kori Deez.
oh, here we go.
I'm just, I'm myself. So I view life based on my experiences and
As you should.
and the things that I live and the things that I know and believe to be true. In my experience with dealing with men, I believe that men want to be treated like men. So you as a man need to let me know that you want me and love me enough that you want to propose to me, you want to marry me, you want to make me your wife, you want the whole experience of saying that I'm willing and I'm capable to take you and all that we are and make us great together. Like be a man and wear that strength on your shoulders. Does that make sense? Because that's what men
Yeah.
are supposed to do. How does that
So,
not make
so here's why it doesn't make any sense. Because if I'm living with you and I'm taking care of you and I'm taking care of our bills and I'm making sure we're good and I'm making sure that you're happy, and every 6 months we're on a trip and we're going,
great? This sounds like a great situation.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying my ideal life would be. This is how my ideal life would be. But I'm just saying, if we have all those things, marriage does not heighten it in any way, shape, or form. Like for me, it's like I'm committed. Once I'm committed, like I'm committed. So we are together, and that's that. Marriage for me would be like, yeah, whatever. If you find it important for us to get a piece of paper, like I'll do it. But at any point in time, I can still walk away from this just like I can walk away from any type of relationship.
It's a little bit harder to walk away from
Paperwork.
a marriage. It's a little bit harder to walk away from a marriage.
It's paperwork. That's the only difference.
Yeah, no,
It's more than paperwork.
it's more than
Because if you
paperwork.
wanna-
What's the
It depends
difference?
on what's
marry me, and I say
wait,
I'm not signing the papers, where you going?
nowhere. You can't
Let me
even
tell
go.
you something. If you don't sign the papers, there are ways for me to get around that. It's a contract. It's a contract. Marriage is just a contract. All
And
it
I
is.
like contracts. You know what contracts are? They're legally binding, and I like that type of stuff. You know why? Because
And
that just makes things a little bit more hectic.
And I got one word for you. Well, two words. Loophole. Loophole.
Oh, good luck. I'm good at those too.
You don't make the rules for marriage.
I got to.
I'm good at those too.
All right,
So
wait.
rewrite the marriage contract.
All right, wait. So side panel. What do you think? Why do you think that marriage is important? Is that like why is it important for besides the fact of the what?
The title.
No, she said the ego would be bruised and something else. So besides those things, why is it important for a man to propose to a woman? Like I'm trying to make sure I
shows
get
that
Figure
you
that
want
out too.
in a relationship.
No, I know why it's important because I'm just not accepting it. The fuck no, I don't want that. I'm not proposing to you.
Listen.
So basically, we're saying that we don't agree with the woman proposing to a man. And what are you
We
saying,
ain't
Miss?
saying that. We ain't saying that. I'm saying that marriage on a whole is just a contract. And if a woman decides to do it or a man decides to do it, I'm not gonna lie. For me personally, like it would be a little awkward for a woman to do it. Like I would have hoped that you would have a conversation with me beforehand, and I
Nope.
could probably get the hint, and then I'll fall into the role of proposing to you. But
So you would be forced to propose to somebody? You would let
it's not
somebody
even. It's not
to
the
propose
way
to?
I'm saying it is not even about being forced.
Like, wait the fucking
It's not about being forced. What I'm saying is we're gonna have a conversation, right? And in our conversation, you're going to tell me what's important to you. Something may not be important to me. If it's important for you to go see the new what's his name, Michael B. Jordan movie, right? And you're like, yo, I gotta go see this Michael B. Jordan. I could care less about Michael B. Jordan's movie, but I'll go with you, right? Because I care about you, right? So it's the same thing. I don't want to be married. I don't care about marriage. I feel like the other things, the emotional bond, the financial bond, I think like there's other bonds that are more important than the actual matrimony. So for me, if we're together financially, we got shared bank accounts, and you caking, I'm caking, we're doing whatever. Marriage doesn't really amplify that. If we're emotionally together, we're having fun, you're my best friend, and we are having the time of our lives, marriage doesn't really amplify that for me. That term, that situation doesn't amplify that for me.
So if that's an amplifier for you, then that means that it cannot possibly, whatever is the opposite of amplify.
No,
Right.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
No.
But on a scale,
No,
it's
right,
not that
right. So it
important.
can't do either because it's not important either way.
No.
Correct?
But
That's
if you're telling me,
saying.
but
So
if
no,
you're telling me it's important to you, I value you enough to be like, okay, that's something that I can entertain. If you're saying it doesn't matter to you, and if it doesn't matter to me,
I think
what
this
the
is
fuck?
very. I think this is something very important to add to this episode, Mason. Are you single? Are you married? The people in the audience want to know.
They do.
Audience, nobody said that.
No.
Nobody said that. Nobody asked that. Okay, all right. So for the audience, nobody asked
That's
that.
everybody that says it's a list for them.
For the audience, I'm single. I'm single, and I'm happy being single because
And how long?
single.
How long have you been single?
I've been single for a while. I think my last relationship was probably like 2 years ago.
Oh, that's a while.
Yeah, but I mean, for me, like, I think I'm weird with all that stuff. So, and what I mean by that is like, I want to be with the person that I have the most fun with. And I will relegate you to a lower standard. I'm trying to watch my words. I'll relegate you to a lower standard if you're not somebody that I have a lot of fun with. So if you can't joke with me, if I can't take you to, I'm in some hood situations, and then I'm turning around and I'm in some very sophisticated situations. If you can't flow with me throughout those situations, I really.
Oh, you want a bitch that's mixed?
What happened?
You want a bitch that's mixed?
A mix that's mixed?
That's mixed. You want a bitch that's mixed. You want a girl that can be like.
Oh, you said a bitch that's mixed. I say a mix that's mixed. I'm like, what are you talking about? A mix that's mixed.
That's mixed. No.
Yes, I need you.
Want
I need you
to take to the boardroom and you could take to the blog. You want to shoot low in the corner, but you want to be able to take it to the boardroom either.
Because that's my situation. That's how I live. I'm around people that will shoot you. And then that sounds really bad. I'm around people that are of a different lifestyle.
That's the
around another set of people.
Alarming as fuck.
Yeah.
Mason, you definitely just surprised me today.
Let's cut that part out. I'm around people that live a lifestyle that is contrary to other people that I'm around that live a different lifestyle. So there's different lifestyles that I'm around, and that's just who I am. Like, I've learned to accept myself that I'll be around, millionaires that do one thing and then millionaires that do something else. It's just the way that I'm set up as a person. So my significant other has to be able to flow through different scenarios and be comfortable and be a complimentary piece. Like,
you need somebody that she's a chameleon. She's gonna change to the scenery.
Exactly. And I found it's not as hard as it sounds. It sounds really bad and sounds really like scary, but it's not.
More like that, though.
It's a lizard for me. You said a chameleon, the bitch said a lizard.
It's a lizard.
I don't know.
They are definitely out here. You definitely have women who can do it all.
Exactly.
I wish you nothing but love. I hope you find somebody who can do
Aw.
that. Listen,
Cheers.
cheers
Where's
to
the
that.
glass? Where's the glass? Cheers.
Hush
no,
your fucking mouth.
Product coming soon. Product coming soon.
We gotta get some color in this
Everybody who
fucking
hasn't noticed
cup.
our shirts. Hush your mouth.
All right. Anyway, so really to wrap this topic up, in itself, because I'm really still unsure where we all stand. I know I say no.
We
I
agree
say
not-
no.
we
I don't
agreeing
think
to disagree.
propose. I don't think
We agree and we
propose.
disagree because you think that it's okay.
I think
I
it's
think
fine.
each his own, but I just don't agree with it.
I think it's fine.
I'm okay with to each his own, but no, not that. Everything is not to each his own. Everything
Yes,
is
it is.
not.
Everybody's standards.
At
Everybody
some
what they
point in
want.
time, you gotta pick a side, and you know what? Y'all are the two, Mister and Mrs. It depends. That's where y'all are at.
Man.
No, that's where y'all are at. You have to pick a side. You cannot be this or that. No, you. That's the only way.
So I'm
to
gonna pick a side. I'm gonna stand out. I'm gonna stand out. I'm gonna pick a side.
Yeah,
So
pick a side.
I would prefer not to have
No.
a woman.
Don't
So I'm gonna say no.
propose to a
I'm gonna
man.
say
I'm
no.
not
Don't propose to a man.
That's what
I-
you mean.
No.
And that
Don't
man
propose
say
to a man
yes,
else.
bro. Get on that one knee and look dumb. That's your life. Your choices. And I hope that he really want to marry
Trust
you.
me when I tell you that I've never watched a video of a woman proposing to a man where I said, oh my God, this is beautiful.
Oh shit.
I've never said that. I've never said that.
Can you please do a
Trust me when I tell
gunshot
you.
for that?
I've never said that. I
Shots
said,
fired.
oh my, I done cried with a few men and women that have proposed. Hey.
I really have to. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of wedding proposals, but I'm never like, oh my God, this is beautiful. Oh my, he's crying. No, because 9 times out of 10, when you asking that man to marry you, he's looking down at you like.
So wait, when you go to the altar, like, okay, do you? All right, so wait. No, because now we about to
Now all the roles change. Like
no, all the roles change.
No,
Do you wait for him at the altar? No, when you're coming down the aisle, is he still crying for you? Because I think that the cry at the altar is one of the most important things at a wedding. Like, let's just talk about the things that I think are
I
important.
think that's new. I think that's a new
No.
phenomenon. One of my best friends, my brother, I feel like he's like a brother to me. He's a lawyer. He has a great life, and she's dope. She's super dope. But they were getting married, and he cried, and I'm like, yo, this is new. Like,
where's the applause?
You wanna know why? Because I feel
I'm
like
gonna get to the applause.
I like the applause.
Let me tell you why.
Wait a minute. Can we get the applause for the
Yeah,
criers?
let's get the applause.
Get the applause for the criers.
It's for a man to show his emotions because they have finally said it's okay. At some point in time, society used to make it like if a man is emotional and he shows real emotion, he's a sucker ass, you know what. So I feel now the same way that women say and do as we please and we are who we are, you can accept us or not accept us, we're going to still do what the fuck we want. Men are finally showing the emotional side. And there's nothing wrong with that. It is nothing wrong with a tear or two. It is nothing wrong with you watching Bambi and crying with me with the tissues. That's the Bambi. Nothing wrong with it. Okay? We get married and you stand down at the bottom of the aisle and you crying. It is nothing wrong with it. I know your mother teaches y'all.
Let me jump back into the story.
It's not.
I think it's the thing to do. In his particular situation, they've been through a lot. They've been through a lot. And when I say that, I know that he must love her. He must love her. So I could see why he was crying because they've been through a lot and she was still standing by his side. She's my friend. My friend. So,
I'm so good.
Yes, being married and getting married in front of your family is an emotional thing. Because of course everybody knows y'all love each other. Of course everybody knows y'all been together for a long time. But now everybody is here to witness y'all take the next step to something way more serious. And for some people, it's a spiritual thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it becomes emotional. Like, I'm taking this step and I'm marrying you before God, in front of my family, the people who raised me up to be the man or woman that I am today. And that's why you should have a reason to stand up there and have all those tears rolling down your face. Because I could have said no.
Where's the gunshot?
Yeah, I was fired. No. So all in all, Hush Your Mouth crew thinks that while it's okay
to love who you love and do what you do.
Be who you are. Do what you do. It is not okay to propose
to some man that should have proposed to you, sis.
To some man.
If he wanted to marry you, this is what he would have asked you. He would have asked.
Do it again one more time for the people. Hush Your Mouth crew. Does put it together. One more time. Hush Your Mouth crew.
Yes.
Does not approve of women proposing.
No. Don't do it.
Don't drop to your nieces. Your niece ain't worth it.
There's only one reason why you should be on your knees. And on that note,
have a conversation.